Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings, everyone. I know trying to maintain this consistency with these videos, it's been a little, difficult for different reasons, mainly because I try not to be repetitive. I don't want to bore you all with being redundant. And then, like I said, there's plenty prison stories that I want to share, but then I'm mindful of people watching, and sometimes those stories are still hard to relay. But with that said, I am here. Been a rough one, pretty busy week, last couple of weeks. And so, just trying to get back into the swing of things. It's a rhetorical question, but just as real. And I know most of you know this feeling. Have you ever been around a crowd of people and you still feel alone? You still feel alone. And sometimes that's the feeling a lot of us who've done time carry with us, and it's a weighty feeling. But I've met, people who've done time in the military, and they've experienced the same feeling, because when they're, with their units, their barracks, their squads, teams, they're familiar with one another. They're familiar with the struggle. And when they come back to what they call, I believe, the civilian world, they struggle. They struggle to find the balance and the peace of mind that most people who haven't been through those particular trials and tribulations have had to endure. And so, a lot of the people who have been in the military, they're, constantly dealing with what is known as PTSD. And those of us who've done time in prison suffer the same. We suffer the same. One of the things I strive to do is maintain contact with a lot of the guys that I've done time with. And, a lot of our stories are the same. Trying to find balance and understand relationships, trying to find our place in the family unit again, because many of us got locked up. People were alive, people were children. We come home, the children are grown. Many of the elders are gone, and many of the adults, are doing as they do. And this is a struggle for myself in particular. Today I had an overwhelming feeling to just cry, and I feel weird sometimes, because I'm like, where's all this coming from? This desire to shed tears. And, and I pinpoint it, one thing I do more than look outside of me, I look at me. I look at myself in the mirror. I do that more than I look outside of myself, truthfully. And so I'm able to pinpoint the things that kind of irk my spirit or pain my spirit. And a lot of it has to do with the state and condition of family and friends. Lack of communication out here. I've said this before inside, we've spoken. You have an issue with somebody inside, you talk to them. Because if you don't talk to them, it leads to something else. I used to tell guys, truthfully, one of the things I did not do was have question marks. If me and a guy get into an argument, we have to come with an understanding. It has to be, it can't be no hidden, all right, then. No, because that means you might get me in the shower hall. You might run up on me in the shower and try to stab me. You know what I mean? And I've seen that. Like I said, there was a guy, big tall guy from Charlottesville, Virginia. There was another guy from Portsmouth, Virginia. And the guy from Portsmouth, he was pretty good with his hands, kind of cocky, and he was picking with the guy from Charlottesville. And the guy from Charlottesville was like 6'9", big country like young. And, the guy started picking with him, throwing his hands, the guy from Portsmouth. And the tall country youngin', he was laying in the punches, flush on the chest. Doom, doom. And, the guy from Portsmouth couldn't get in. So he was like, you know what, all right. So he run to the cell. I'm his roommate. So he run to the cell. He opened his lock. I'm like, what you doing, man? He's like, no. He didn't grab the sock and put like 8 or 9 AA batteries in the jump. Tied it, go down there and all the top swing. He missed. It was an older guy named Mason. Older guy. And Mason got in between them like, y'all cut it out. Y'all go away with that, whatever. So, huffing and puffing, they let it go. About 3 days later, my roommate, he's in the shower. I'm in the cell. It's rec, y'all. It's rec call. So everybody on the rec yard, but those of us, myself included, who came in during the second half, many of the people went out. So the tall youngin', he wait for my celly to grab the shampoo. And he was sitting beside another guy from Portsmouth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? My celly from Portsmouth and the guy he's sitting beside from Portsmouth. But, so the youngin' get up as soon as he see the shampoo come down, I guess he counted. And he went up in there and busted my celly face, man. Like he didn't break his jaw, but he fractured it. Eye, nose. My celly staggered to the cell. I was down in the corner somewhere talking to my man Lonnie. And he turned around and I walked to the cell like, what happened to you? You didn't hear nothing, just, boom, boom. And that was it, So no one knew except for the youngin' sitting beside him. The youngin' was gonna run up in there and shower. But I say that to say that out here, not a lot of people talk or communicate. And then when we communicate, I saw a meme the other day. It said, communication is important, but comprehending is better. And I like that, because I'm striving to learn more and more myself. Ego can be in the way of looking at things. Envy can be in the way of looking at things. Somebody could be like, man, dude right there doing real good in life, But if you envy this guy for whatever reason, you're not gonna see what he's doing. You know what I mean? You're gonna be envious. So your vision of him is tainted. And that's what happens in the world we live in, man. I listen to some of these rappers talk about other rappers, and they don't give each other credit because they don't like that one is more successful. I heard one guy say, I don't listen to nobody else. That is probably, I'm sure that's BS, right? But I say all that to say that the transition is real. One of the things that I notice a lot of us do that have done time is we shut the doors in our rooms behind us, whether we over family house, whether we our own apartments, we still shut the doors. Now, I remember adults doing that when people are in the house, right? And some will do it if they're by themselves, right? But because there's a door. But a lot of us who have done time, it's like we yearn for that privacy. We yearn for that sanctuary that is our room because it reminds us of the cell. And so we have to fight that. We have to fight the feeling of isolation because there are people around us who love us, care about us, and want to help. But we don't really see that because inside, many of us were used to going it alone. And so that weighs heavy on us because the mentality that we have is not a clear or accurate depiction, but it is one we hold on to. We're like, and me, like I said, I'm out here, I love nature. I love nature. This is where I find a lot of solace and peace. I'm spiritual, so I find, a lot of it, when I bow my head, when I say my prayers. But in truth, and everybody out there that has said prayers has done so, and it's hard to always come out of it with that, that focus still, But it's been a rough one, and I'm pursuing, my dreams, my goals. I'm still active, I still work. But I wear a lot of the woes and a lot of the pains of other people, including my own. And I got a good heart. I'm not perfect. I got a good heart and I care about people and I want the best for people, man. But this world is so full of isolation, man, and distance. And it just weighs heavy on my spirit, man. So a lot of time you just got to find that balance. And that's hard. Be real with you, it's hard. I remember listening to guys come back to prison. Like, he came back, like, what's wrong with him? Right? Or even guys that have committed suicide. You know, I used to be like, man, that's weak, man. You don't kill yourself. Man, come on, that's crazy. And I remember reading a book about FBI training, not just FBI, but like special forces, undercovers. It was talking about the training. I used to read a lot of war books on the Zulus and how they trained the Spartans and the Roman Empire, etc. Apaches, warriors. And a lot of time they said that the FBI, CIA, their training is unique. Like, they would actually put some people on drugs. This is hearsay, right? But they know what they're sending you off to. They're sending you in drug havens. They're sending you in drug labs, you know? So you might have to sit beside a kingpin that can just kill 2-3 people, you know, and have to endure that because that's your job as the FBI, you know, undercover. And so it's the same with having lived the lives a lot of us have lived. We have to sit back and remove our own personal feelings or thoughts. Not thoughts, but our personal feelings or viewpoints. And we have to say, you know, why would a guy go back to prison? And I hear the stories out here. I hear guys working, but they're not making enough, you know, and they don't want to mooch off of family and friends. And so they go back to what they know. I hear guys that have relationship issues and they don't want to fight. They don't want to argue. So they go to the liquor. They go to the weed. They go to the drugs because they're trying to find that peace, you know. I know women too, on the flip side, you know, women as well. You know, and this is not just people who coming home from prison. It's people who coming home from combat. It's people who just live in this everyday struggle. This is what they call this rat race of humanity, you know. And there's so much beauty out here that we overlook the beauty trying to keep up with the silliness. You know, we overlook the beauty in each other, keeping up with the silly people, you know. You know, that's one of my pet peeves, man. Treat good people like they deserve to be treated, man, you know. We treat good people cruddy, but we treat fools, man, like kings and queens, man, you know. And I've done it, you know what I mean? I would have treated my family like I should have treated them, you know, in the sense of not getting in trouble, as opposed to getting in trouble, you know what I mean? So believe me, I speak from that, you know, stepping on my own toes. So, you know, it's just like I said, I just wanted to share that. Share that because, like I say, one of the things that we as a community have to begin to do is we have to really start diagnosing ourselves. Like, really, we have to start sitting down, looking in the mirror and being honest. And it's so easy for me to judge everybody, you know what I mean? I can look and say, you know, that girl, you know, she big, or that girl, she not this, or that dude, he not this, he not that. But when I look in the mirror, I see a lot of flaws, you know, and I work on them, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want those flaws to ill affect those I love, my community, and the world at large, right? So, like I say, I just wanted to share, you know, just a little bit. Like I say, y'all walk with me, man. Y'all check on me. And I just want to share, you know what I'm saying, today's thoughts. And they're a little heavy, you know, just keeping it real. They're a little heavy. The heart is a little heavy. The mind is a little bogged down. It gets overwhelming. But the one thing you can trust in me is, you know, I've seen a lot. And I've endured a lot. And I'm going to press on. And I will accomplish my goals, you know what I'm saying, with God's permission and grace. But we're human, you know. And don't feel like you got to do it all by yourself. Nah, reach out. You know what I'm saying? Reach out. Sometimes people need you to ask them for help because some people just aren't mind readers, you know. So if you're alone, or you're lonely, man, just reach out and talk to somebody, man. Get some stuff off your chest and hopefully they'll listen, you know, and be, you know, consoling and counseling. So again, y'all take care and take care of each other and take care of yourselves. And as always, I appreciate you. Peace.